This is Algebra 1, Lesson 111. I'm on page 468. All right, so this whole lesson is on inequalities. So in inequality, we're going to have a greater than or equal to, a less than or equal to. And we're going to graph the results on a number line. Okay? Regardless of what your book says, always graph real numbers. So sometimes it will ask you to graph integers. So sometimes it will tell you the domain is integers. Integers is graphed just like all the numbers, right? The dots. That's how integers are graphed. I want you to always graph all of these as reals. That's how I will work all of the problems. Okay? So don't graph integers, graph all reals. All right? So there are two types of inequalities. Inequalities are either greater than, like I said, greater than or equal to, right? Or they're less than or equal to. If they are greater than, then what we graph will be a disjunction. So if we can go ahead and lock that in our brains, whatever we graph when it's greater than is going to be a disjunction. Anything that we graph that is less than is going to be a conjunction. All right, so I'm going to show you what that means, right? A conjunction. I can't spell. All right. With the conjunction, you're going to see the word and. With a disjunction, we're going to see the word or. So when we graph a disjunction, they go on a number line. The results go away from one another, right? It looks like that. That's what a disjunction will always look like. A conjunction will look like that. Everything is in the middle. So this remains true when you get to Algebra 2. I just retaught this today in Algebra 2. It's a little more complex. All right, so your book starts with conjunctions. All right, so look at example 111.1. It's -5 less than or equal to x minus 4 less than 2. Okay, this is really -5 less than x minus 4 and x minus 4 less than 2. It is both of them. So a conjunction can look like this, 3 terms. And so I could make this 2 inequalities. I could write that, solve it. I could write this and solve it. But I don't have to. Okay, your book doesn't either. Good. I can take the middle and say, what I want in the middle is just the value of x. And then I want my constants on the outside. Okay? But what I do in the middle, I have to do on both sides. So if I want x by itself, I don't want 4 to be subtracted from it. So I'm going to add 4 in the middle. But I can't just add it in the middle. I have to add it everywhere. So I'm going to add 4 on the left, and I'm going to add 4 on the right. Okay? So we have x greater than or equal to -1 and less than 6. So that means the value of x, it can equal -1, but it's going to go all the way up to 6. Remember what our indicator was when it's also equal? It was a closed indicator. Do y'all remember that? And when it doesn't have an equal sign, it was an open indicator. All right, so when I graph this, I already know it's a conjunction. All right, so I start at -1. I know that it equals -1. And I'm going to go all the way to 6. It cannot equal it. And when I graph it, it looks like that. And notice my signs look like that as well, right? That will always be the case. So that's a conjunction. Now look at example 2. This is a disjunction. This says x greater than or equal to 3.
This is a disjunction?
Huh? It's going to be a disjunction, yes. But the key word here is or. When you hear the word or, you should tell yourself it's going to be a disjunction. It doesn't matter what the signs look like. It's absolutely going to be a disjunction. Or x less than or equal to -2. All right, when I graph that, I go to 3, 0, -2. Greater than or equal to 3, we have a closed indicator. Remember, our arrow always goes in the direction of the inequality sign. And this is less than, so my arrow is going to go that way. And it's also equal to, so I have a closed indicator here on -2, and it goes in that direction. And we expect it to be a disjunction because of the word or in that case. And typically they put the greater than first. All right, let's do the second example. The second example, well, the third example rather, x greater than 15, so this is example 3, x greater than 15, or, keyword, I'm telling myself, a disjunction is going to go away from one another, or x less than or equal to 10. All right, so when I graph it, I'm going to put 0 way over here. I'm going to count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, because we don't always have to count by 1s. Right, you can count by 2s, you can count by 10s. All right, less than or equal to 10 is a closed indicator going to my left. Greater than 15 is an open indicator going to my right.
Wait, okay. I'm just a little bit confused on